Hello, in this video we'll be discussing CryptoAware. CryptoAware is a tool that analyzes coin exchange statements from exchanges such as Binance. So a subpoena to Binance would be sent for a given address. The coin exchange would then return records on that address which provide that address's transactions or crypto trades. I have a coin exchange statement from Binance here, and we see there are multiple kinds of transactions such as deposit history, fiat deposit history, withdrawals, peer-to-peer. There's also access logs of when this account was accessed and from what IP. There's approved devices that connect to this wallet, and there are other such transactions that occur particular to Binance, like Binance Pay. CryptoAware takes this coin exchange document and extracts all the transactions and then displays it in a convenient way so that you can follow the flow of crypto trades and transactions. Moreover, CryptoAware also augments this underlying data in this coin exchange by looking at the real IP address for these access logs and then passing these IP addresses into a application called IP quality score. IP quality score then looks for those addresses and detects if they are a VPN, a proxy, a Tor, part of the Tor network, or a real IP. We then supplement that data and provide that information to you. Moreover, we also use those IPs to check the Open Sanctions API, which can link sanctioned wallets, and it can detect transactions are occurring with a sanctioned wallet. Open Sanctions also provides information on the wallet holder and includes information such as their name or why they were sanctioned to begin with. So CryptoAware then relates that information and provides that information to you in a easily digestible form, and then you can see who this coin exchange account is interacting with, who they're making trades with. Let me give you an example of how you use CryptoAware. Here I'm at the login page. I will sign in. I will then click CryptoAware. And then to upload a file into CryptoAware, you click Upload Excel File. It's key that we only accept Excel files for Binance statements. So I will drag in my coin exchange statement. I'll select the exchange, which is Binance. You name your case right here. You can add additional metadata on your case, but it's not required. You then click Submit. You then click Yes, Upload. You'll then see our new case is starting to process. We see this processing status right here on the right-hand side. And we can let this process, and then once it's done, we'll see a done in green status on this right-hand side. I'm returning to my case now, and I do see the done status in the right-hand side, so I can now use my CryptoAware case. We'll start off with the timeline view, which is this visual right here in this corner. You can see different types of transactions. So the outside blue circle means a coin in or coin out. We see in the top half here, this is incoming transactions. So this would be coins being deposited into this coin exchange account. So this is the account holder that has been subpoenaed, and these transactions show that these coins are coming into that account. You can hover over a transaction and see the different details of that crypto transaction. We see it's a deposit, we see the amount, we see the network, we see part of the source address, the destination address, and the TX hash for this given transaction. We can also see in the bottom here outgoing crypto transactions that are occurring. And again, you can hover over these transactions and see the details for that given transaction. Then we can also see here cash in and cash out. So these would be fiat deposits, fiat withdrawals. And within this timeline view, we can choose what we want to see in particular. So here I've selected just show me these cash in, cash out transactions. And then you can hover over and see those details. Moreover, you can click a transaction and then it pulls up this transaction details view. Here it's this transaction here. We see it highlighted within this right-hand side. We see that this transaction occurred from peer-to-peer, and then you can look at those corresponding details of this peer-to-peer transaction. You can also highlight these transactions and save them if they are of interest. And so when you download the Excel file, you'll have that transaction highlighted. So those are transactions of interest. And to download that Excel file, you would click this download here and then enhanced files. This enhanced file has not only your highlighted transactions, but it also has the results from IP quality score, which just shows if the IP address associated with those access logs, if they are a VPN, a proxy, a Tor, and so on, and the connection type as you see here. So it provides that information from that API in this data, which you can review. We also provide a geolocation based on the IP, which is also in the access logs. Moreover, you'll see when there is a sanctioned wallet detected, you'll see the information that's associated with that sanctioned wallet. So here we have a source address, and you see we check both the destination address and the source address. Here we have the destination address is sanctioned, and if you look closely, you'll see the reason for their sanction is this address is related to crime and terror. It shows when this address was first seen on the exchanges, and then last seen. And then you also have properties of the address themselves. Here we have a name associated with this address, and we have other information that's associated with it. This information was provided from Open Sanctions API and is added to your original coin exchange statement. Going back to the case now, the other views we have in timeline view, we have a few. So we have the raw coin amount. This shows the size of the transactions. Each circle is a transaction. The bigger the amount of this transaction, the larger the circle is. So this is showing the raw coin amount as the circle sizes. Within this view, also, we have a different color inside for each of the different coins that are traded. So you can see each coin that's being traded within a different color. We then go to a different view. Here we show the USD equivalent of these trades. So instead of showing the size of the coins, if your data supports it, we show the size of how much that trade was worth, how much the value of those coins were worth. Then we also have what we call sheet view, so we can tell where the transaction is from based on that original coin exchange statement. Here we have a different color per sheet. So here we have deposit history is one color, withdrawal history is another, Binance Pay is another color, and you can see on the visual sort of what's going on based on the kind of trade that is occurring. This is often used to detect if certain strategies to mix coin transactions are occurring. So whether a actor's account is being used, where they're getting the money from Binance Pay from other addresses, and then they're withdrawing that money into, say, a particular bank account or what have you, or sending it into a different address if they're trying to wash those coins and obfuscate where the coins are going. And then we also have the sanctioned wallet view, and here you'll see sanctioned addresses that were detected will show up in red, and this is what we saw in that Excel file where it stated the person's name, why they're sanctioned, and other such details. So we provide all of these different views for you to toggle and to see what is the behavior of this underlying wallet. Then we can move on to this transaction history, which provides us a view of these crypto transactions that are occurring. So here we can look for particular transactions by searching for an address, and then all of the addresses with that searched value will appear within this visual. This helps you narrow down on those transactions that are occurring and really zoom into the data based on what you're searching for. To see all the data again, you just remove your search and all the data will be displayed. Then you can also click this details to see the underlying data and go sheet by sheet if you'd like, so that you can correspond the highlighted rows that you find of interest to the other data that may be there. You also have the search capability here in the top left to narrow in on transactions of interest. So this is the timeline view and the associated transaction history view. You can see any transactions that were not integrated into Cryptoware by downloading this skipped rows file, and any rows that are in this file are not in Cryptoware and are not being displayed based on the visuals. I scroll down a little bit, and here you'll see our graph table and graph view of the data. So here in timeline view, we saw, based off of the time axis is the x-axis, we see transactions over time. But to get an understanding of what this account holder is doing, we can go to the graph table and look at all the transactions, which addresses are being transacted with, and by how many transactions, and what's the total USDT value of those transactions. So for deposit, we have, who's sending the coins to this particular address, which is owned by our subpoenaed address, which you can see in purple is owned by the wallet ID holder, and you can see the destination address for this. And then the green are different addresses that are sending our wallet ID holder coins, right? So you can hover over them, you can hover over the edges and see how many transactions have occurred between these two addresses and the total USDT value for those transactions. This is the deposit view. We also have a withdrawal view, which you can toggle and see when our wallet ID is withdrawing coins, where is it going? And here we have our directions again, and we have a count of transactions, and then the size of these nodes are based on the total USDT equivalent that was sent to those destinations. You can also toggle if you want to see, who is the largest withdrawals. You can toggle this to sort of narrow in on, just show me the largest players that are involved here. You can download this data as an Excel file and then view it from there. So then you'll see all of the information, the total amount sent, the total number of trades, and so on. And it even gives you a little breakdown of which coins were sent and of how much value, if they've sent different coins. And then from this table itself, you can copy these addresses and provides all of that related information. So this is a good visual to get a really high level overview of where the coins are flowing, incoming and outgoing, and who are the main players, what addresses are the main players involved. In our last visual, we have our map view. Here we take the access logs that Binance provides, showing who's logging into the account and when, and the corresponding IP address for that login or for other events like initiating a trade. We then we use that IP address, we send it to Open Sanctions, we send it to the IP quality score, and then we show on the map whether or not those IP addresses are real IP addresses, whether they're proxy addresses, or whether they're related to a VPN and a proxy. In this map view, you can toggle on and off what kind of IP addresses you want to see on the map. And you can see here we've selected a real IP address, and we can hover over and see what time of day these logins occurred from what IP address, and we know these are real IP addresses. So map view provides details on the account activity and where actions are occurring geographically. You're also able to select what kind of access log event you want to see. Right here we have various access logs events, and you can toggle off and on which ones you wish to see. Those are the visuals offered by Cryptoware. I hope you found this informative. Let me know if you have any questions.